The Big East's Big 3-0 was a memorable finale for Louisville. 3 decades of tourney dancing in the Big Apple, 30 years of unforgettable teams and hardwood legends at the world's most famous arena. The Championship Club welcomed the 2012 chapter Saturday night at Madison Square Garden, celebrating 30 years of the Big East title game, as Louisville and head coach Rick Pitino won a defensive slugfest 50-44, topping Cincinnati in the finale. The late Dave Gavitt, the man behind the Big East's rise to prominence in 1979 and the conference's first commissioner, was on the mind of Pitino as the legendary head coach stood at center court and reflected on his 10th conference crown and 27 seasons of college hoops.
We're all here today. We're all enjoying great basketball because of that man. So we want to honor his. You can cry, you can think about him, but there's only one way to handle a man of that stature is to celebrate his legacy by doing the right things. And John Marinato and the Big East have done all the right things for Dave Gavitt's legacy.
I know that you knew Mr. Gavitt as well. To have this year be in memory of him, 30 years of the Big East, and then have it end like this with Coach Pitino at the top.
It's fate, just the way it should be. That's the way he would want it, and worked out for great for everyone.
Gavitt, who died in September, would have enjoyed the tenacious defense that was on display in Saturday's title tilt. It was the fewest points scored in a final, 16 less than the previous mark, set in 1992 between Syracuse and Georgetown.
It's a defensive struggle, obviously. Proud of our team. We played very well. We stuck together and had a great game.
To see Coach Pitino do this tonight, and obviously you've had a great year at Manhattan. Special for you?
Yeah, unbelievable. Coach is well-deserved. Been a great year for them. To come in and win the toughest conference argument in college basketball and win this weekend. I'm just so happy for these guys and Coach Pitino.
Chris Smith, a former Manhattan standout and New Jersey product, scored 15 points to lead the defensive-minded Cardinals. The senior guard stole the limelight of the Garden's glare from his older brother, newest New York Knick J.R. Smith, for one night.
For him to be able to see me play, this is the first time he got to see me play all year. And, in the championship when we got it done.
It's unbelievable, being a Knick now and seeing my brother do it here at home at the Garden. God really works in mysterious ways.
Louisville, playing in its 3rd straight title game, hoisted the crown again like it did in 2009, while also putting the game's MVP on their shoulders for the world to see. Just for you personally, is this the realization of every dream you've ever had?
I never thought this would happen in a million years, and I'm just so grateful for it. It just really shows the power of the Big East, just got to be thankful for it.
Saturday's title game was the first time in 34 years that the Big East finale has been staged without one of the original 7 members. Although the matchup was new for the championship game, Louisville and Cincinnati are old acquaintances. The Cardinals lead the all-time series 54-41, bouncing back from a regular season defeat to the Bearcats. This time Pitino got the better of Cincy's head coach Mick Cronin, a former Pitino assistant. Speaking of coaches, the New York Knicks have got a new one. Let's go inside the locker room for more. Wednesday was Noche Latina night at the Garden, and it was a fiesta for the New York Knicks and new interim head coach Mike Woodson, who replaced Mike D'Antoni after his resignation.
It's kind of an emotional day when you lose your head coach, who I have a great deal of respect for. I just told him to take a deep breath and relax and let's go out and have fun and play basketball the way I think we're capable of doing it, and I thought they responded.
The Knicks raced down to a 55-29 halftime lead and carved up a 121-79 victory at MSG, thanks largely to the bench play, especially the hot shooting of Steve Novak.
You see the ball going through the hoop, and I feel like the same wave guys are missing. It's kind of contagious, so tonight I think it was the better of the 2 cases.
Spark plug reserve J.R. Smith finished with 23 points, including 7 threes, to lead the Knicks.
Our talent level's through the roof. It's just a matter of going out there, putting our hard work in on the defensive end and really focusing in.
Swingman Landry Fields was sad to see Coach Mike D'Antoni go, but excited about the prospects of interim coach Mike Woodson moving forward.
He's a great coach for me, but I total trust and belief in Mike Woodson as well. He's a great coach from all the stuff he's done for us this year. So couldn't be happy to be a part of something with him right now.
The Knicks and D'Antoni issued a statement saying that their breakup was mutual. D'Antoni was in the final year of his deal, and rumors have swirled that the Orange and Blue are going to look in a different direction this offseason. Could former Knick and championship Zen master Phil Jackson be on the horizon? For now, Mike Woodson is at the helm. The interim coach has already stated that he will do more with his star players down the stretch, saying Thursday that the offense will run through Carmelo Anthony and Amari Stoudemire. The Knicks will have a chance to showcase the two starting tonight when they welcome rival Indiana in the first game of a home-and-home. The series will shift to Indiana tomorrow night. Across town, the New Jersey Nets will be in Orlando tonight before returning home to host New Orleans on Saturday night. To spring training baseball, the Bronx Bombers won 8-5 Thursday, topping the Washington Nationals. Newcomer Michael Pineda fanned 4 and 3 2/3 innings. Veteran infielder Bill Hall, who was trying to make the team, drove in 2 runs. The Yanks will face the Nats at home today in Tampa. They play Houston at Steinbrenner Field Saturday before a split squad Sunday against Philly. The Mets have dropped 3 straight in spring action. They will face the Tigers in Port St. Lucie this afternoon. Win-loss records don't matter much in the spring. The Amazons are optimistic that the return of Johan Santana and the development of young players like Lucas Duda should make them a contender in 2012. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. Prize quarterback free agent Peyton Manning has narrowed his choices to 2, according to sources. Manning will likely be playing for Denver or Tennessee next season. The New York Giants and longtime running back Brandon Jacobs parted ways earlier this week as the two sides could not come to an agreement on a new contract. Jacobs hasn't ruled out the possibility of signing with the neighboring Jets if the opportunity is there. Jets QB Mark Sanchez called out his teammates this week after inking an extension. He called his teammates' negative and anonymous remarks in the media gutless. Should be an interesting offseason and upcoming year for Gang Green. A slew of big moves from the NFL gridiron on the week, including the trading of Brandon Marshall from Miami to Chicago and the free agent signing of defensive stalwart Mario Williams, who lands in Buffalo a whole lot richer. The trade game was on display in the NBA Thursday as the afternoon deadline came and went. The New Jersey Nets acquired Gerald Wallace from Portland for a package deal that included a protected pick. But the big news was actually a deal that didn't go down. Orlando center Dwight Howard is staying put. The Magic All-Star waived his opt-out and will remain in Orlando for the remainder of this year and all of next. The LA Lakers improved their roster Thursday, acquiring point guard Ramon Sessions and forward Jordan Hill in 2 separate deals. One move officially ended the Derek Fisher era in LA. The highs and lows of March Madness is exactly what Iona College experienced this week. First, after falling so early in their conference tournament, the MAC built a strong case for the Gales to dance in March Madness. So good, the NCAA included them in the field. But in the opening round action, the Gales were on a furious pace in the first half before BYU stormed back and overcame a 25-point deficit in the second half, the largest in tournament history. You just never know this time of year. Top-seeded Syracuse needed every last ounce of energy to survive number 16 UNC Asheville on Thursday. Aside from that, so far no major surprises aside from maybe an early round exit by UConn, the defending champion. Iowa State took care of the Huskies on Thursday. It may not be the NCAA tournament, but like Iona, Manhattan College learned this past week that it would live to fight another day. The Jaspers were included in the collegeinsider.com tournament. Manhattan capitalized, winning its first postseason game since 2006. City product George Beamon erupted for 34 points to lead the Jaspers past Albany 89-79 Wednesday night. The Jaspers will now play Fairfield in Fairfield on Sunday. From the ice, the New York Rangers fell in Sid the Kid Crosby's return Thursday night. The Penguins and Crosby earned a 5-2 victory against the Blue Shirts, who have hit a bit of a snag in March. Up next is an important stretch. The Rangers have Colorado, New Jersey, Detroit, and Buffalo coming up at home this weekend and into next week. Those are the headlines. Let's hit the C-list for the pick of the weekend. Well, sports fans, I know I don't watch much TV other than sports, of course, but I will recommend an HBO series that focuses on a minor league baseball player trying to make it back to the show. Sunday nights, tune into HBO for Season 3, the final season of Eastbound and Down. If you like raunchy, ridiculous humor, Kenny Powers and Eastbound and Down are for you. Not for the kiddies, but for adults with a sick and twisted sense of humor. You'll thank me later. Rhina, speaking of that, I don't know if you've ever watched Eastbound and Down, but I've renamed my fantasy baseball team La Flama Blanca.
La Flama Blanca.
The White Flame. That's your sports on Bobby C.
Thank you, Bobby. Hilarious.
Pretty good. It's R-rated, but it's an excellent show.
Well, okay. I think we'll check it out.
Ridiculous.
Yes. Well, you gave their tweet, but you didn't give your tweet.
Isn't
it at The Voice?
At The Voice, Bobby C.
At The Voice, Bobby C. Obviously, he's not tweeting enough. He's
I
like,
see you tweet. I'm trying.
Okay, all right. Well, keep it moving. Keep it moving. Follow him at The Voice with Bobby C. or at At The Voice Bobby C.
At The Voice Bobby C.
At The Voice Bobby C. All right, we got to take a quick break because we're going to move from At The Voice to A Lyrics. Oh, la flema blanca. But, you know, we're going back into Women's History Month, people. A Lyrics is in the house. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.